Above that awful vision were the huntsmen themselves, some bare-chested, some armored. They were a strange mix of folk and mortal, plucked from their rightful times to join the hunt. Sometimes their armor revealed their era. Often, though, trying to focus on any one when they were in motion was like watching a tongue of flame in a roaring fire. Each one was too quickly lost in the mass that surrounded it. Had things become so bad that the queen would let loose the hunt above ground without sending warning? They were hers to command, a fierce weapon, but not one released lightly. Then, as swiftly as they'd approached, the huntsmen shifted course, their thundering hooves veering away from the copse of trees where she hid, following the path the mortals had taken. Still trembling, Ivy dropped to the forest floor. Even though the hunt had raced away, dragging their waves of terror with them, she no longer wanted to be above ground. She could pretend they were no more than nursery boggles, harmless to her now that she was older, but her heart hammered still. The hunt rides. Pretending didn't make the terror abate, didn't make the nightmares any less real. She turned to flee, but then she heard it, an unmistakable cry from the hollow in the tree. Go, go before they turn back. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. Maybe it's just an animal. Go. The cry rose louder. It's not my responsibility. As daughter to the queen, Ivy had shouldered more than enough responsibility in her 14 years. She didn't need this one, too. I could still run. With shaking hands, Ivy removed the handful of twigs and moss the woman had packed in. Why are they after this? Ivy lifted the dirty length of cloth and the mortal babe it was wrapped around. If the queen sent the hounds after him, he mattered to Ivy. The Queen of Faery might be mad, but she didn't bother with mortals. Not unless they were special. Chapter 1, in which Jack Marry discovers that all is not as it would seem. Inside the fairy hill, they dance to music that plays endlessly, lilting rhythms like the music of the stars in midsummer. Jack Marry grinned at the townsfolk who had paused in their courtyard to listen to his tale while they took their midday meal. Some of them looked at him, waiting. Even those that didn't look his way were listening. Sometimes, he continued, if you close your eyes at the moment when the sun slides away at night, you can hear their feet as they dance. And for a moment, he imagined that he could hear it, the tramp of dozens of feet moving in time to strange songs. Such music couldn't be made by the crude instruments the farmers strummed on the rare occasion when they remembered to rest. The music would be magical, so tempting that no one would remember to do anything but rejoice. Surely that would be what life in Faery would be like.
"What else do they do, Jackie?"
asked a farmer with a creased face. Like the rest of the people in Hollow Groves, he was weather-worn and somber. Sitting in the dusty street, Jack tried to look past the fading wooden buildings and cheerless faces. What would please them? What will make them stay a little longer to listen? Well, they have feasts the like of which we've never known. Long tables covered in silver trays, piled so high with sweets that it takes a full day to even see them all. He paused and sighed, picturing it in his mind, layers of white, icing-covered cakes and creamy puddings. They're so happy that they laugh as they twirl round the table. Sometimes they don't even stop dancing to eat. They just reach out a hand as they swing past the table. Many of them listened, held rapt as they often were when he spun tales. But some of the townsfolk finished their meals and left, returning to their fields and stores. They didn't say anything, just left.